What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt Taville with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Dominic Trouble Brazil. Dominic Brazil vows to knock out Otto Wallin February 13th, something that Tyson Fury was unable to do. Dominic Brazil also stated that Otto Wallin, what he's known for, or known of him, is to being a pretty durable fighter. He says he's going to test the waters to see what Otto Wallin has. He also states that he has the opportunity now, since he's a southpaw, to use the right hand more, and he has power in both hands, so he's able to crack and see what Otto Wallin has. Again, he says he sees a lot of vulnerabilities in Otto Wallin that most southpaws don't have, so he's going to be able to capitalize on that, and he's going to knock him out. He's not going to state the round, but he knows it will be a KO for sure in dynamic fashion. Those are the words of Dominic Brazil. Now, as I heard of this fight yesterday, these are the type of fights that I want to see. The type of fights that they're not top guys, but they're not bottom of the barrel neither. They're the other guys. They're the guys that's still fighting to get to their victory. They fell off a couple of times in Otto Wallin's case. He lost to Tyson Fury, taking his first loss. Dominic Brazil was knocked out in 2019 of May in dynamic fashion by yours truly, the Bronze Bomber. So he fell off twice by before that being beat by Anthony Joshua. So they share a victory in beating Dominic Brazil only. So when it comes to Otto Wallin, both of these guys are fighting for supremacy and that stage in their career, okay? If Dominic Brazil loses to Otto Wallin, he can pretty much hang it up. But if he beats Otto Wallin, that will mean something special. What will it mean? That means Dominic Brazil was able to do something with his durability and his punching power and his drive, do something that Tyson Fury couldn't do, and Tyson Fury is regarded as one of the top, as the top heavyweight of today, right? So it will be a good thing, okay, for Dominic Brazil to do what he says he's going to do. Now, Otto Wallin also is a fighter that, despite him not really being known, he made a name for himself by putting two huge cuts on Tyson Fury. And let's really face it, if it was anybody else, that fight would have been stopped and Otto Wallin would have won a TKO victory for himself, still being undefeated, still having a huge upset. At that point, it would have been two upsets in a row, okay? Because remember, and also in 2019, Andy Ruiz upset Anthony Joshua, and that was a scare for everybody also, those two huge cuts on the side of Fury's face. So Tyson Fury was able to beat him, but Otto Wallin was a guy that was still able to persevere, okay? And he gave a great account of himself, being an undefeated fighter himself at that time. Now, when you bring these two together, I think it'll be a good fight. Why? Because both of these guys have flaws. They have openings that both guys can exploit. I see this being damn near one of the fights of the year as long as it lasts. I hope it lasts 8, 9 to 10 rounds of action. Why? Because these guys are not really big defensive guys. Otto Wallin, I think, is actually better defensive-wise than Dominic Brazil. He's pretty easy to hit. He's slower out of the two. And I wonder how Dominic Brazil will be able to do that. I think the best way is for Dominic Brazil to just make it a slugfest. Otto Wallin, I think he's a scrapper too. Again, he is pretty durable. He did take an assault of punches from Tyson Fury, but I do question if Tyson Fury was weight overtrained at the time. So you don't really know how good or how in shape Tyson Fury was at that time, but he did take Tyson's shots and still lasted to the end of that fight. So it looks good, that fight. I like that fight. Dominic Brazil, he's promising that because he has to make a comeback, because that knockout was massive, okay? And then he's already a two-time loser, so he doesn't want to be a third, all right? Because if he's a third, then Otto Wallin will ascend in the heavyweight division, and then he will be left in yesteryear as old news. So it looks good. I'm just interested to see what Dominic Brazil can do. Can he fulfill what he says he's going to do? You guys tell me what you think of Dominic Brazil saying that he will knock out Otto Wallin. What type of fight you think is going to be. Leave your comments below. Please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.